All right. Welcome to the Sci-Fi Express Lane. I'm checking my mirrors. I'm clear. Yeah, let's do it. Today I want to talk about characters that need character. And I know that sounds redundant, but some of the words in the English language have double meaning. And character is one of them. When I write character, my characters, I have started to give some of my characters my sense of humor. You know, sometimes they're intelligent, sometimes they're scary, but sometimes I weave the humor in with the intelligence, sometimes I weave it in with the leaders or the follower or like an assistant to the main character. But sometimes the main character is the one with the sense of humor. Now, as you know, I work with comedians from Def Comedy Jam, BT Comic View, all over. And I like to say I have a sense of humor. I'm also like to say I'm a little funny, you know. Don't do stand-up, but I write jokes, you know, and I write. I've been working into fusing in some of my jokes into my stories, or a little bit more, and trusting it. But even if you read like my first comic book, Imani the Killer, you'll see that there's some jokes in there, definitely recognizable lines to make you laugh, okay? So how do you do that? How do I tackle that? How do I go about adding character, humor to my stories? Well, one of the things that I do is I leave room for it. I think that's the best thing the first thing you could really do is to leave room in your story for character or for comedic lines. So what I've started doing, I have a multi-stage process. I must say it's 3, but I ain't really count it yet. I have a multi-stage process when I write my comic stories. My main start off is always think of a story, tell it to somebody, tell it to yourself, write it out, paragraph form, outline form, however it comes to you. Then I outline it page by page. I'll write 20, 25 lines. Sometimes I go 20 and leave myself a couple of pages in case, you know, I want to go over with the action scenes, and I don't go over 25. I outline it page by page. On this page, this is what's going to happen. This page, no lines, right? Only a line if something is iconic and it needs to be said in that particular space. But otherwise, no lines, right? No dialogue. And then I take out my sketch pad and do my stick figure sketches, right? Based on my outline, right? So that gets me started. I get how many panels I want each page to have and give an idea. Now, artistic freedom is still allowed for my illustrator, or whoever the illustrators are, to change the panels as long as they tell the same story or tell the same scene on the page that I need to be told. So I know my page count and I know my story pacing, and all of the lines can be said on that particular page. So that's the next thing I do. In my sketch, sometimes, especially in really emotional scenes, specifically towards the end or the climactic scene, dialogue will jump out. I will scratch down some dialogue on my sketch pad and make it work, you know, or so I don't forget about it. All of it is still flexible. Then I go back and type up my script based on my sketches. I don't use the outline or the story anymore. I've moved on. So now I'm on my sketch pad to script writing, and I'm on the computer. When I do that, now I'm adding in dialogue. The dialogue, I punch it up. I have my fun with it. That's when I add in my jokes and my funny lines, because I don't have to worry about what the character's wearing, how they're positioned. All that is now on my sketch pad, and all I have to worry about is what or how they're going to say it. I already know what they're going to say, because that's in the outline and up here in my head and separated by pages, because I know what they have to say on each page based on what they're doing as well. And it also allows me to tell the story through pictures. So like with me, I remember when I first started reading comic books, I really wasn't reading comic books. I was really picture reading, you know. Oh, he got him here. Oh, look how he got loose. Oh, he hit him back, blah, blah, blah. And she's going to help him. All those things were things that I was able to determine through pictures. Now, my lines are very important, and I want them to have their own necessity in relationship to the story. So that's why I focus on the humor at that stage, because it's not just, you know, a boring transcript. It's got to have its own life. And to be honest, you know, you could possibly even read the words and get a good idea of the story. However, I want you to need the words and need the stories. So some of the panels and pages may not even have any words, will just have a lot of action. And then some of them may have very important words and not much action, except for people talking to each other or pointing to something on a table. So at that point, I add my my character, part of or my humor, which is my character. So when I say characters need character, yes, every character in your story needs to have a personality. You know, what made me think of this is sort of Denzel, sort of Samuel Jackson. When you see these characters, these actors in different roles, but you sort of recognize, he's going to bring Samuel Jackson out. And he does, you know. He raises his voice. It feels like he's going to say the MF word. And you look for it, even in the children movies. So one of the things that made me think of this was last night I was watching, I'm going to say episode 10 of The Equalizer with Queen Latifah, one of the best television shows on television right now. And Jada Pinkett, I like to call her Jada the Abuser, right? I'm notorious for trolling any Will Smith post on social media with Jada the Abuser, mostly because I want her and him to kind of break up and get away from that abusive relationship. She doesn't need to be with somebody that she can abuse, and he doesn't need to be abused. That's my commentary. But anyway, I watched her in The Equalizer, and other than her, different from her appearances in other movies, she is now embracing her little spunky, youthful behavior that she had in with the Keenan Ivory Wayans movie, where she played the little sidekick, and she played a little sidekick to Queen Latifah in this, and it worked. You know, I'm struggling to like her, right? Because I don't really like her, especially in that serious role. But she brought a little bit of a Girls Trip. It was Girls Trip. Brought a little bit of that Girls Trip with her in this role in The Equalizer. And I think it was a well-written Equalizer role, but it wasn't the Equalizer that I like Queen Latifah to be, which is a threat, a serious man on fire, woman on fire type character, like the way Denzel played it in the movies. So she was, you know, still the Equalizer, hitting people, but in this time she got caught, and it was Jada that helped to save her. So the Equalizer don't need nobody to save them, and I wish it was the other way around. Anyway, it worked for the story. anyway, I liked the character that Jada seemed to have brought with her from the movie with Keenen Ivory Wayans and Girls Trip. And that is what made me think, imagine if a different person would have played that role, like Tiffany Haddish, which, would leaned itself more to comedy, but shoot, say Zoe Saldana, or what's my other girl's name? Rosario Dawson, one of these other actresses that are out here, how would they have played, Gabrielle Union, how would they have played this role? And it would have been different because they would have brought a different character to it. Now, mind you, comedy is so brilliant that it doesn't always get credited for taking talent to do. When people think of the Academy Awards, the Oscars, and all these, great foreign awards, and yes, I call the Oscars foreign because I'm African American, and we have our BET Awards, so I get into that later. But all these foreign awards giving for great actorial performances usually go to dramatic roles. Oh my God, look at, he played King Richard. Oh, he did real good in this, what's Viola Davis, in her Snot Bubble. It really is dramatic, and she brought out that emotion. Do you know what's another emotion? Laughter, humor, being silly, right? But the downside is it's hard for people to do it in real life. We struggle with stress, right? Because of lack of laughter. You got to tell people, have a laugh a day. Doctors is prescribing a laugh a day. You don't hear anybody saying have a serious a day, have a intense moment every day. No, you don't have to, because everybody has those, and the people that act don't have to really do anything except remember that time and they bring it out. But if as actors to be humorous, not all of them can do it. Not all of them can laugh. Not all of them can make people laugh. To give a genuine, contagious laugh is hard, right? And then to do something silly and funny is hard. That's why many of them play the straight person and they hire a comedian to come in and do the laughter. So, part of, what I say is character, yeah, it can be considered humor. And I think, that is also a thing that's difficult to write in stories where, comics used to be comedy, pages, little funny things that, happen. We don't see that anymore. They're now dominated by superheroes, graphic novels, and horror, right? Secret agent spy stories, tragic cannibals, and all types of zombies, and superheroes saving the day, flying to other planets. When was the last time you read something that was intended to make you laugh? And so I'm not planning on writing comedy comics. Maybe. I think that's a hard swing because I don't have any stories yet like that. But I'm thinking that infusing some real jokes into my comic books is definitely a thing to do. So having a back and forth with your mother and playing the dozens. I was planning to do that with my Medea spoof comic. So now I call it Mother or something like that. I forgot what I call it. Big Ma, because we had a Big Ma in our family. And I may infuse it there. I'm also thinking about infusing it into my Fingernails comic book. If you read the first one, the second script has some really good jokes in there from the cat, Kim. He's my comic relief. But he goes back and forth with all of them, especially Savannah the Ghost. So anyway, that's it for me. I do want to say, and there's other ways to bring character to your characters. They could be the smart person. They can be the one that has a damn near ADHD. They could, always come up with some type of scientific answer to it. They could take stuff too serious. They could be too emotional, too sensitive. Those are characterizations that are cool to make. So anyway, add character to your character. Like and share this video. Make some comments. I'll go back onto the controversial stuff later. But right now, I wanted, sci-fi writing. This is what we do. We got to get better. All right, peace.